Well, welcome to Berlin, and apparently you're kind of exaggerating all that police standing in front of the hotels just because of you and you plan endings, or is that because of you? No, it's not because of someone else. Because of the president of Egypt.
The president of Egypt is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but did it happen sometimes that some people got kind of confused whenever they see you like in real life and they kind of feel like, oh my God, they just ran out of the prison, something like that? Did it ever happen? Do people take it really that serious whenever they see the show?
I mean,
I've never had that happen.
I mean, I'm not.
You just escaped from prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah!
How did you? Yeah, exactly. I thought you were in there.
I thought you were in jail.
Yeah. No. I think people think that I'm actually though like
Little crazy.
Yes, exactly. Like on the subway, people will be like, "So your hair's not in the, and you're not in a." I think people expect us to be in jumpsuits though.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
it's like what's happening, but. Yeah, outside of that, they know we didn't really commit the crime.
Yeah, but especially in your case, I was very surprised how calm you just appear, because like, you know, whenever you see your character in the show, it's like always like crazy eyes, and your name is coming from somewhere. But it was very interesting just to observe all of you and being very so calm. But this is now the third season, so apparently this thing is working quite well. So how do you feel about that? Are you excited, or is like, well, you know, it happens? I mean, a unsuccessful show, you know, who doesn't have one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it feels a bit like winning the lottery, I think, to kind of be in a position where the show keeps going and people keep enjoying it, and we, you know, continue to have an opportunity to do our work with each other. I mean, we were just talking before, it's so fat, because being able to kind of go for this amount of time, it's exciting, it's so exciting that people want to watch it, and it also affords you the opportunity, I think what I'm realizing now, as an actor, to keep thinking like, wow, because it's sort of a new medium for TV. I mean, I did a year, but it kind of honing, like this works, this doesn't work. What do I want to try this year? How can I start to like adjust my own process? And it gives you, time is a luxury.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that before, but heading into another season is exciting.
Well, to this point, I was able to see like 6 episodes of the third season, and I wonder because like Piper originally was sentenced to 13 months in prison, and now we're in the third season. So does it mean that automatically she has to stay in there forever? So you have more seasons, or do you see like something happening that maybe the entire scenario might change? Like even in Prison Break, they haven't been in jail internally. Would that be an option for Orange is the New Black?
I think that's a Jenji question. That's more of a Jenji question for sure. But I know probably our prison is the only prison where everybody's happy to be there. And I know for my character, she's pretty happy to have this one around.
I know.
So.
I mean, and Piper seems to be thriving.
Yeah.
Learning a lot about herself in jail.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think she's...
And the awareness, and because like also like yesterday when I saw you at this party, there were like a bunch of girls waiting for you because they've been very excited to see you. And then I'm asking yourself, are you aware of the fact that for some reason you also become some role models? Does it disturb you that people might see inmates as role models, or is it that you feel like comfortable? Apparently we're doing it right, so people have a connection to that character. That's the most important thing to me as an actor.
I mean, I think for our show, if the show was modeled around strictly, you know, what it is that got us into the prison, I think that might be a different conversation, but Jenji's been really smart about how she presents the characters, where it's really humanizing story and really telling the stories of people and who they are outside of the world of Litchfield, who they, you know, their humanity is constantly maintained. And I think when I at least read the show, I feel like I'm not so much looking at prisoners and that aspect of who they are, but I'm just looking at people who are trying to make it through the day. You know, and I think everybody can relate to that. I think that's been the thread that's kind of bound everybody to watching the show and enjoying playing in the show.
And the last one, how exciting is it with these days where you have the entire show offered at the same time? It's not like, I cannot spoil anything because I haven't seen the end of the show, but at the same time this thing is like over at once. Is it a relief, or is it sometimes also kind of sad to deal with these kind of shows promotional wise as you do it right now? It's like, you know, it's nothing like, this is my baby, enjoy it. It's like, well, it's my baby, enjoy it whenever you want. It's on Netflix. You can like stream it anytime.
You're Italian now.
Yeah.
Like the mafia boss who's selling at the show. It's like, come on, get two of them.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? It really seems to be like a different process that you go through an actor when you present this type of show, which is narrated in a different way than it used to, like sending something on the big screen and once you did like the poem, it's done. But you are going to do this pretty much like forever if you like. The internet is never forgetting anything.
It's interesting. I don't know if the way that it's I don't know if the way that the show is received by an audience really impacts the way I work on a part.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's like however people consume it doesn't really shift with the process. It's sort of like once I do my part, it's like offer it up and let it go. Whether people watch it all at once or watch it, piecemeal or watch it 50 years from now. But the other thing is I love the idea that people can do that. I love the idea that people can be at home and watch episode 6 of season 1 and never watch it again, or they can go home and watch all 3 seasons in 48 hours, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool thing. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm really happy and I love the fact that you've been here in Berlin. So thank you so much and see you for the next season, I guess.
Dankeschön.
I don't see why not. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Ich habe mich immer schon gern gewaschen. Ich habe gern geduscht. Ich habe gern gebadet. Dabei fühle ich mich wohl. Fühlte ich mich wohl.
Verdammt, hast du hübsche Titten. Du hast so Fernsehtittchen.
Bin fertig.
Und jetzt verpiss dich.
Mein Name ist Piper Kermans.
Ihr verabschiedet euch jetzt lieber.
Ich lieb dich so.
Ich lieb dich auch.
Ich habe einen Geldkoffer geschmuggelt. Drogengeld. Vor 10 Jahren.
Hast du davon gewusst? Sie hat wohl vergessen, ihre lesbische Freundin und deren internationalen Drogenschmugglerring zu erwähnen.
Es ist alles gut.
Du warst lesbisch?
Damals schon.
Lächeln.
Ich war nicht fertig.
Dumm gelaufen.
Es ist ein Luxusurlaub. Nur beschissen furchtbar. Du kommst hier nur in einem Leichensack raus.
Ich hab einen Riesenspaß, Bitch.
Okay, setz dich dahin. Sie ist eine nette weiße Frau. Wir Schwestern helfen uns. Ich verstehe nicht.
Ich kenne deine Lösung.
Ich habe eine Knastfrau. Was? Ihr Name ist Crazy Eyes. Hat sie dich vergewaltigt? Nein, sie hat mich nicht vergewaltigt. Sie hat meine Hand gehalten.
Schoko und Vanille, Quelle.
Du siehst großartig aus. Dein Gesicht ist so viel markanter.
Sie lassen mich verhungern.
Was?
Ich muss in ein anderes Gefängnis.
Weil hier das Radisson ist und dir das Zimmer nicht zusagt.
Ich wurde fies angegrapscht, gestalkt und verglichen mit Taylor Swift. Also könntest du bitte nur ein bisschen mehr Nachsicht haben. Ich hab nicht gewollt, dass das hier passiert.
Ich werde etwas Zeit brauchen.
Und was bedeutet das? Ich habe Angst, im Gefängnis nicht ich selber zu sein. Und ich habe Angst, dass ich's bin.
Niemand schlägt dich härter als das Leben. Nicht Gott, kein Gangster der Welt, so ist das eben.
Du hast gar nichts mit den Frauen hier gemein.
Ich unterscheide mich überhaupt nicht von allen anderen hier. Ich habe ein Verbrechen begangen. Es ist meine Schuld, dass ich hier drin bin. Meine ganz allein.
But I'm glad that you guys are here.
Thank you.
And I must say I was very surprised because there's so much stuff that I learned through that show. So apparently, although that it's the 21st century, like 2015, apparently there's a lot of things that people were not so much aware and seem to have learned through Orange is the New Black. So do you feel this is more than just entertaining, or is it just something that came across that this really stands for something? All of a sudden people are talking about transgender, about lesbian lifestyle, about prison in general. So apparently this show is far more than just entertainment, or am I just like taking it too big?
No, no, it's absolutely the truth. What was really exciting about season 1 is seeing all of the conversations conversations that were being had all over the world about mass incarceration, but particularly in the United States, where in the States we incarcerate more people, like 25% of the world population. We have 25% of the world population. I think we incarcerate like over 50% of people. It's really crazy.
Something like 2.5 million inmates right now, currently in the U.S.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's insane. And so conversations are being had. There's some public policies that have been put forth to reduce incarceration too. Hopefully that will actually happen. And so it's interesting to be a part of a show that's not just brilliant storytelling, that's entertaining, that's funny, but it's also having a social impact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, like, Jenji didn't set out to write some expose on like corruption in the penal system or, you know, transgender issues or whatever it is. She's just telling stories. Yeah. And the one thing that's amazing is that being on a show where we're telling these amazing stories, it is a byproduct of that naturally is that it's raising awareness. And anything that can, invoke some kind of conversation to be had and raise awareness is incredible. I don't think that she's kind of setting out to do that. I think it's just, she just doesn't shy away from it. She tells these stories, she's not afraid, and it's incredible to be on a project where we really push the envelope in so many different ways. It's awesome.
And this is the third season, so apparently it's successful. There's a high demand.
Thank you.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently, we've heard.
But for you as an as actresses, is it that you feel that was the plural of like a female actresses?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Actress.
Actress.
That's the plural.
Sorry, girl. Sorry. But as actresses,
I thought it was funny. Continue.
How do you see like what's going to come up next for you? Do you see like some more seasons coming of Orange is the New Black, or is it that right now you're like in a situation that this is so successful and people want to share that success? So of course, is it that they're asking you for specific roles that you might be typecast? Is that a fear that you might have that people will always ask you, oh, we need a lesbian for that movie? Do you mind playing it? Transgender? What about you?
I don't worry about that. I think we can't control whether someone typecasts us or not. And I think it's my job as an actress to show people that I can do a lot of different things. So, I mean, will people be open to cast me in various roles? Who knows? But it is certainly my job to show folks that I can do a lot of different things besides what they've seen me do already.
And what is your claim for that show? Because the thing is, like, of course, I in order just to get prepared to the interview, I've been watching like these 6 episodes. But I really was like kind of fighting that hype because there was such a huge hype about it. And I'm glad that although there's this hype, the show is really a good one. But how do you claim that show for those who haven't been in touch with it? I mean, it's about prison, it's about the life that they're having in there. But in general, now with the 3rd season, what is there to discover, in your opinion?
I think at the end of the day, what Jenji is really interested in is deeply human stories and the humanity of any and everybody, no matter what they've done. And I think that is something that we could all use more of, more empathy in the world. And I think at the end of the day, there's so many nail-biting cliffhangers for like every episode. And I think that's what makes people sort of hungry to watch the next episode, to see the next season right away. I mean, I think because it has become sort of a cultural phenomenon all over the world, you don't want to be left behind. But at the end of the day, I think the storytelling is just so good and so compelling that you want to click on the next episode. You want to find out what happens next. You invest in these characters because they're so deeply flawed. I think the flaws in human beings are what make people relate to them and make folks deeply human.
But even as a heterosexual man, I feel like very appealed to that show. So congratulations, 3rd season, and it was beautiful talking to you.
That is the power of the good storytelling. Thank you.